So you probably heard about the kick off and kick return meta that is taking over late cycle Madden Ultimate Team. This is making it so many players out there do not have to play offense at all because they're scoring 1 to probably 3 or 4 kick returns a game, depending on whether or not they're good on defense. Of course, if you guys give up scores, you have to return kicks. But nonetheless, if your opponent doesn't know what's going on, they're going to end up with their kick coverage unit on the ground. And in today's video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how you should set up not only your kick return team, but your kick coverage team and a couple of other strategies to prevent this from scoring so many points on you. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell, get out your pen and pad. You're going to need it. And let's get after it. If you guys are here late in the Madden 25 season, I appreciate all the support. Take a quick second, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified of all the uploads. I upload Monday through Friday in the mornings with shorts in the afternoon to help you stay on top of the Madden meta. Today, we're going to be talking about the heavy kickoff coverage unit and the heavy return unit. One of the more popular players in the community that is doing this and it's spreading is Throne as well as K-Mac. And believe it or not, I was talking with Throne a couple of weeks ago in my Twitch chat. I stream Monday through Friday in the afternoon, so make sure you guys check it out, Zan Madden. He came in and people were talking about his kickoff return unit and how he was scoring, 4 to 5 touchdowns a game with his kick return unit. And I actually told him something else that he should be doing that's going to make this even more toxic. So make sure you guys stick around to the end of the video for this. But the heavy return unit is going to change your depth chart so that you guys have more players on the field that are heavier and they're going to have impact block abilities. These abilities can be either the Vanguard or the Nasty Streak. Now, it can be either of those two abilities. Obviously, Vanguard is a little bit more popular than Nasty Streak, but both basically guarantee impact block wins. One just puts guys into the turf, and that's what a lot of players are looking for, is to be able to get those guys down to the ground to make these kick returns easier. So what I'm going to do here in today's video is show you guys how you can return kicks quite easily, but also keep in mind that in this video, my kick coverage team is also equipped to cover better. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a regular kickoff unit on the field. Some of these players will still have the counter abilities, others won't, and you'll see them go down very, very quickly. Now, on the kick return team, you also are going to use the heavy for this, and we'll talk about the positions for this here in just a second. Now, this is where I need you guys to get out your pen and pad, because we're going to go through the positions for the kick return unit, starting from point of view left to right, okay? Now, with this particular position, this is going to depend on how many fullbacks you carry on your roster. This is going to be a tight end or a fullback. So make sure that all of your fullbacks have Nasty Streak or Vanguard, and all of your tight ends have Nasty Streak or Vanguard. You guys can get Surge tight ends that get these abilities or Surge fullbacks that get these abilities. This is going to be your tight end number 3 or 4 or your fullback number 2. This player right here is going to be your tight end number 2. This player right here is going to be your backup left tackle. This player is going to be your backup left guard. This player is going to be your backup center. This player is going to be your backup right guard. You see where we're going with this? And this player is going to be your backup right tackle. So basically, you have an offensive line on the field that is going to put a lot of weight in the middle of your kick return unit. It's going to be very, very hard to counter these 5 players in the middle. Now, right here, this is going to be your other tight end, another backup tight end, and this is going to be your starting fullback. So you see right here that we have this set up correctly. Now, the reason I said that this will be over here a tight end or a fullback is because for my setup, I have one of my 2 kick return players as Quentin Nelson, who is actually my starting fullback. So this gives me an extra Vanguard blocker on my kick return unit. And if I was smart, I would put another wide receiver with Vanguard here. This would give you 11 players with an impact block ability that is designed to be able to return kicks. Now let's show you what this looks like when we actually return kicks. So what I'm going to do here, and I don't have an impact blocker in front of me, but watch up the middle how this goes and how we're just getting these crazy pancakes. Now, keep in mind too that on my defense, we're going to talk about it here in a minute, I've got guys that counter this meta, but you're going to see as we run this over and over, look at the starting field position. We're going to be able to, especially if we could get to that outside, just take off and go. And again, you're seeing right here, starting position at the 40, even if I screw it up. But more often than not, if your opponents do not have the depth chart that I'm about to share with you on defense, you're going to be looking at touchdowns on these types of returns. So again, we're going to go ahead and just go out to this. And you see right there, that's what I'm talking about. It's not hard to follow these blocks because they're getting impact block wins, and we are out for the touchdown. So I'm going to do this a couple more times. You're just going to see the starting field position for all these kickoffs is going to be basically my 40-yard line if I screw something up. It takes a lot for us to really not get these wins right up the middle. Right there, again, that's kind of what classifies. Guy just didn't execute his block, but we were one guy away. Again, it's dangerous every single time they kick this in the field of play. So again, I'm just trying to run up the middle and let these impact blocks get a win. And you see right there, look at all the guys that are on the ground here. Maybe if I slow it down a little bit, let these guys get ahead of steam, just be real patient with it. This will give me a little bit more time. So I'm just going to kind of take my time, give them a little bit more space. Now, unfortunately, one of the guys that has a counter ability was able to shed the block. We'll get to that momentarily. But again, look at how this is scary every single time. And what you're going to notice is that players are just going to end up housing so many of these. Bare minimum, you're talking like, I mean, look at all the guys on the field. All it takes is one guy shedding, and I'm going to show you the depth chart here after this very kick return, so that way we can start to counter this a little bit better, and we'll talk about the abilities that you guys need. So we'll do one more here. Look at that Vanguard, look at that Vanguard, and then we're gone. Again, I will take these odds every single time. I mean, basically a kick return, if I had a little bit faster guy, you know, that wasn't 380 pounds, we would be just fine. Now let's talk about the kick coverage unit with the heavy that we need for this to work. Now, keeping in mind here that we are also going to show you guys a way to completely counter this, and I've got another way that is going to counter that counter. Make sure you guys are staying plugged in right here. So here is the kick coverage heavy unit from left to right from our point of view. This is your CB number 3. This is a player that you will want to have either a safety at this position with the reinforcement or the run stuffer ability, or you can equip Out My Way. The one thing you should be careful with Out My Way is that it only works against running backs, fullbacks, and tight ends and wide receivers. It does not work against linemen, and there are linemen on the heavy kick return unit. That is why the heavy return unit can still beat this heavy kickoff coverage unit, okay? This player right here is your backup strong safety. This is a player that, again, you will have reinforcement or some sort of Out My Way ability on. Again, I prefer reinforcement. This player right here is your middle linebacker number 2. So your backup middle linebacker, again, run stuffer, reinforcement, something like that for this ability. This is your backup outside left linebacker number 2. So again, same deal there. This player right here is your backup right defensive end or left defensive end. This player is your other backup defensive end. Again, those players will have run stuffer. These are very, very important. If you guys want to put big fat D tackles that get secondary positions at this spot, maybe like a Quentin Williams or Chris Jones or somebody like that, it's going to give you a little bit more size to handle these bigger linemen. Landry being an edge rusher against a 330-pound offensive guard up the middle is still a mismatch that favors the kick return unit. So you guys can make better choices than I have. I'm just showing you the personnel here. Reddick, again, same deal, could go heavier defensive tackle here. This is your backup outside linebacker on the right. So Singletary, I give ROLB2. He is going to be in reinforcement. And then your third middle linebacker is at this spot. So I've moved Urlacher with his passive reinforcement combine item to this spot. And then right here, you have your free safety number 2. So I put a golden ticket player without my way here. And then this guy on the outside is your CB4. So again, another large player without my way or reinforcement will suffice. These players will give you the best odds of being able to shed these blocks. But again, it can get dangerous because, again, these 5 guys in the middle of the kick return unit are basically your offensive linemen. Now, what I want to do here is I want to show you guys something that I do on the kick return unit to make sure that I don't have to have expensive backup O linemen. And that is that I simply carry no backup offensive linemen. You see, in Madden, offensive linemen don't really get subbed out of the game. They just stay in. They don't get super tired unless you no huddle a ton. So what I've done here is I've just taken my starting linemen, made sure they have Nasty Streak or Vanguard, and I carry no backups. We're at the point in the year where 40 out of 40 for your theme team is still viable without backup linemen. With the theme team surge items that give you extra bonuses, your captains are getting extra. It's so easy to get, 40 out of 40. And even if you don't, the boost from the surge program is going to make those guys 99 speed anyways, in most cases. Obviously, offensive linemen are slower, but I want a 300-pound guy with 99 strength and nasty streaker Vanguard on there. So you see right here that all these guys on my kick return unit are basically 99 strength. They go 305, 315, 316, 330, 320. You see the point here that I'm making. So with this, it's very, very important that you guys are making sure that you rock these types of players on your team. Okay. So the other thing that I want to show you guys is how to counter this kick return unit. We've shown you how impactful this can be. I do want to kind of do a few kickoffs here and hopefully show you guys how the the guys that have those abilities can counter this. Now, if you guys are enjoying this video, make sure that you guys are subscribed and check out gridirongameplans.gg. This is a tip I would normally put on Gridiron, but this is already out there. You see right there, there's an example of that Mike Singletary. Singletary immediately gets off his block with his out my way. Now, another hidden secret to this is that I feel like archetype matters, okay? There are field general middle linebackers, there are coverage middle linebackers, and then there are run stuffing middle linebackers. You see right here that Singletary is a run stopper archetype, and he actually, in this case, just swerved by his guy. But you will also notice that sometimes these dudes that are like lighter get put to the ground regardless. Whereas some of the guys that are a little bit heavier and have like run stopping archetypes, let's see if I can actually get Singletary to make contact, or at least show where he can make contact. You see in the background, there's Urlacher, who's a field general, getting smushed. And again, this interaction right here with 72 and 50, I'm going to look to see if I can trigger a block and show you that Singletary will shed this. So that way you guys can get a better look. So we're looking at the left side here. Look at number 50. I'm gonna try to get him blocked. I mean, you just see right there, he's swerving by people. I don't think that that's a normal outcome, to be honest with you, but I do want to go ahead and show you that we're going to get some sheds here. Again, I'm just going to kind of run around. You see a shed by Snoop Dogg. You see the shed by Singletary. Again, these guys do a good job. Now, if you're still getting stuff housed on you, this is where we need to talk about the direct counter this. What you're going to want to do with this is you're going to want to choose the deep kick function. And you're going to want to have a 99 kick power kicker. And what that's going to do is if you just go to the top of the meter into the red and you hit your accuracy on the downswing, it's going to kick this straight through the uprights, and this is not going to be returnable. Okay. Now, obviously there are factors like wind. If you're kicking into a 7-mile-an-hour wind, it might make it returnable. But in general, you will have enough kick power in the majority of your games, regardless of the wind, to kick this out of the back of the end zone. This will help it so you don't ever have to deal with this. Granted, a price to pay is giving them starting position at the 30-yard line, but some players don't have an offense at all, and they are relying heavily on these kick returns to be able to basically be their offense, if you will. One of those things that you have to watch out for is going to be what I'm about to show you. This is really, really, really toxic. Okay. So what players are doing with this strategy, and it only works when they're the home team, is they are going into their home stadium, and they are actually setting the Cowboys stadium as their home stadium. I don't have it, but when you pair the Cowboys stadium with the Cowboys dark uniforms, so if you go to their darks and you choose Cowboys as well on this will activate the Cowboys home field advantage. And if you haven't faced that before, what that is that it shortens kickoffs for the other team. So when they kick it, the ball basically dies. Even when you do this deep kick that goes out of the back of the end zone, the ball basically ends up landing at like the 10-yard line of the receiving team. So that means that your kicks are always in play, even when you do the deep kick function with the Cowboys. So if you are facing someone that is doing this strategy and they're wearing Cowboys uniforms, I'm going to tell you right now that unless your kickoff coverage team is really good, or your opponent has bad stick work, or you feel confident, you're better off just kicking the sucker out of bounds and taking the illegal procedure and giving them the ball at the 40. Okay, it's way better to defend a 60-yard field than it is to give your opponent 7 points. Okay, so just consider that for what it's worth. This is the Toxic Vanguard kickoff meta. It is very, very good. Have a 99 kick power kicker, deep kick to counter it. Have your heavy depth chart that I just broke down to you on your team. And from there, best of luck, because this is something you're going to see a lot in the last month of Madden. Of course, we are heading towards college football season, so we've only got a month left of this. Make sure you guys check out the Gridiron pre-sales on the website. Link in the description. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get a lab and good luck.